is Tuesday, July 23rd. Are we officially in the dog days of summer right now?
Ooh.
I kind of feel like this is the dog days of summer. Today we're talking about inflation and VinFast having a dealer advisory council. We're going to check on our friend RJ to see what Rivian's plans are. Whatever else we can drum up from the bottom of the automotive news barrel. Everything seems, I don't know, everything seems so anticlimactic in these days. It's like major DMS ransom attack. Now we have a president, the president candidate gets shot. Now we have a president dropping out of the race. Now we have a CrowdStrike outage where everyone's got a blue screen of death. And we're like, did you know VinFast has a dealer advisory council?
You know why? This is why. One, the OEMs are like, no talking to dealers. It's like July 15th to August 31st. Nobody walk in. Just let them keep doing what they're doing, okay? And all the dealers are like, get out of the way, we're selling cars.
Absolutely.
We're selling cars.
We got a little pent-up demand. Yeah. That's a really good point. I don't know. The dog days of summer, maybe we're there, maybe we're not. It's definitely not
tomorrow. It'll be nuts. They'll be like,
I know.
Well, you got the Q2 earnings happening this week, so it'll get exciting.
Yeah, I feel like Q2 earnings, I feel like the quarterly earnings happen like every month. Doesn't it feel like that?
I think they do somehow. Somehow everybody's having a
maybe there's early earnings, late early. Maybe you're only ever 8 weeks away from someone's next earnings.
Well, you got like quarterly earnings, then you got Cox Automotive reports, and then
it really drags out the news cycle, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know, the media business. We got something going here. We'll keep you interested.
There seems to be always something to talk about. How's that work, Paul?
That feels good. Guess what?
Feels great.
So yesterday we released our latest episode of the Auto Collabs podcast. It's about merchandising, super relevant if you're trying to sell cars, especially in the summer, especially in a competitive environment as day supply is going up and prices are going down. Well, we were with our friend Daniel Abel of Car Cutter talking about fixing the house before inviting people over. We had such a fun conversation. Check it out. Search Auto Collabs. Or just search ASOTU, and it'll pop up as one of our 27 podcasts. Actually, we only have like 4.
Yeah, it's not 6.
I know. We also have one of our Quickshot webinars coming up in just a couple of weeks here. Our ASOTU Edge webinars, Kyle and I host them. Keep them lively, keep them fun, and they're over before you know it. We're talking about what's up with the cars rule. Remember that, still around, still exists. Going to get the jam with the always fun and engaging and brilliant radio voice, James Ganther with Mosaic. And you can go to ASOTU.com, just right there at the top. You can register to be part of this webinar. And look, we really, truly hope that you show up and heckle him in the comments.
Absolutely. Please and thank you.
Yeah,
the comments are the greatest thing. Why do more people not hit the comments? I mean, like our good friends, they hit the comments every day. That's the only reason social media exists. That's it.
Well, certain social media. Miles, my son, and he works here at ASOTU. He recently got on Instagram and he was like, people on Instagram are way meaner than people on YouTube.
They rage on Instagram.
You should see X.
I don't want to go there. It scares me.
It's bad. We almost put the fashion show that Elon Musk created with all the world leaders.
That's a real scary world.
Check it out. Look at it. You won't be sorry you did. Maybe we'll make a little fashion show of our own. All right. Let's talk about this. Used car prices have plummeted over the past year, reaching their lowest level since 2021, and are now the leading category, reducing inflation. We're doing our part as the industry. According to CoPilot's analysis of CPI data, Consumer Price Index data, Cox Automotive reports that average list price for a used vehicle is now $25,251. That really is coming down 7% from last year, and the lowest since the summer of 2021. The June CPI report shows a 10.1% drop in used vehicle prices year over year, with a 1.5% decline in the last month alone. That means if you're trying to sell your car, sell it quick. If you're trying to buy a car, you might want to wait a minute. The previous surge in used car prices was driven by supply chain crunch in new vehicles. Those are coming back. CoPilot CEO Pat Ryan explains the supply of new vehicles has increased by about 50% since last year, easing the pressure on the used market. Yeah. And he says, quote, consumers have finally found themselves with more options to buy a new car rather than used.
I think it's a great market. I think we're in that balance point still right now. The question of the market is what happens in late Q3 or late Q4, but I think there's a great balance point where consumers have enough options. They have enough options on the new and used car side. Inflation, the used car prices are starting to come down. New car availability is coming up. There's still enough demand for the dealer and the OEM side to drive results. And so you get, I think we're like in that nice little sweet spot, if I had to say, like where the consumer and the dealer,
everybody's winning
on a value.
Yeah.
You know, the hope is that it doesn't flip on its side, right?
We'll see what happens with interest rates, but even if interest rates start to drop, they're not going to like drop like a rock. You know what I mean? Like
no, we're not going to see a 6-point reduction.
No, it's going to be quarter point here, a half point there, and maybe in 6 months from now we'll be like, you know, a point and a half less.
The big question is still going to be what do these lease returns have as an impact on the
lack of, right,
in the new car market and on residual of that. So
here's the fun part. I am actually in the market for a used car. So
let's go.
I'm going to get, and I'm holding out. I'm glad I did, because
you're about to get so many comments, Paul.
Bring it on. I have a trade. I have a nice, great condition trade, and I'm looking for a really nice.
Someone sell this man a car.
Sell me a car. All right. Speaking of selling some cars.
Yep.
Oh, where's my button?
Got it.
Segue.
Hearing a little bit from our friend RJ Scaringe, CEO of Rivian, as they are I'm sorry, wrong story. I can't skip to the third story second.
Don't skip the story.
We got a lot of friends out here. All right, our other friends, EV manufacturer VinFast, although they don't return our calls, they should.
Never do.
Is strengthening. Yeah, actually, if you're on the dealer council that we're about to talk about, tell VinFast they should get on the network. We have some questions. So EV manufacturer VinFast is strengthening their presence in the U.S. by, get this, acting like traditional OEMs, forming a dealer advisory board to navigate the American market. They're looking to expand their dealership network. And now they have a strategic advisory board, members including David Coyle of Leith VinFast, North Carolina, Damian Mills of VinFast Triad in North Carolina, David Sansing, Ellie Hanna, Bill Affenberg. So kind of the first in the pool on the VinFast market. Now get to be part of the advisory board. That makes so much sense. They've received 70 applications from dealers to open dealerships and plan to establish 125 third-party sales points by the end of this year. They better get moving, because we're in Q3. David Coyle, dealer principal of Leith VinFast, commented, "The board represents a great opportunity for open communication and collaboration, ensuring VinFast remains at the forefront of the EV market." Are they at the forefront of the EV market?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a remains there, but you know, kudos to them for the PR messaging.
They got a fighting chance.
Got to go for it, right? Here's the thing. We are cheering for VinFast. Why?
Yeah, we are.
Choosing the dealer network. They're setting up a dealer council. They're doing things the way that we know that scale can happen in the EV market. They're not going to have to worry about real estate, all of that type of stuff. So, you know, my good friends back at Sandy Sansing, I'm glad to see on that board. Good friend Damian Mills. You know, obviously on that board, these are people that I trust to make this a really, really great dealer OEM experience. And this is my encouragement. Again, if you're listening, if you're from VinFast, if you're on this dealer advisory board, like, do the things that you haven't. This is like a net new startup opportunity of dealer advisory board. Like, challenge the status quo of how the OEM and the dealer interacts with each other.
Oh yeah. And
like change the game for everybody by showing a better way, right?
Do something that no one else can do because they're so legacy.
Yep.
That they couldn't back into it. You get a chance to do it from the beginning. That's great advice, Kyle. That one's for free. That one's for free. I do want to mention, I'm wearing, did you notice? I'm wearing like the OG ASOTU CON scarf. Is it on?
That
right?
is,
It's not on.
that's
right.
a great one. I like that one.
This is the Philly one. And
the colorway of the Philly one is just so
tight.
nice.
It felt so good too. The reason I announced it is because we just released the design aesthetic and the splash page for ASOTU CON 2025.
Whoa.
Go to ASOTUCon.com. We really went all out on the design for this one. The scarf is going to be amazing. You should be on the first to know list. And if you go to ASOTUCon.com, put your email in there, and you'll know about what's happening before everybody else knows. So, just saying, how to put that in there. All right.
Speaking of knowing about what's going to happen.
Okay.
Segue.
The Verge wanted to know, so they sat down with Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe to cover the EV maker's future and plans, why everyone actually looks like a Tesla, and their joint venture with a VW. I love that they kind of like threw that question in. Rivian has announced 5 new models this year: the R2, the R3, the R3X, and updated versions of the R1T and the R1S. They already have 100,000 pre-orders on the
Strong.
R2, which is set to launch in 2026. So
Do they have a colorway that looks like R2 from Star Wars?
they
Like
have
blue
to.
and white.
Oh my goodness, that would be genius. Scaringe believes that the slowdown in EV growth is not due to a lack of demand, but rather a lack of variety and available models. Interesting. He said that because of the Model Y success, you have a lot of incumbents that have built products that look and feel and are shaped a lot like a Model Y.
Not the Rivians.
Not the Rivian. The $5 billion joint venture with VW focuses on co-developing Rivian streamlined electronic architecture, which reduces the number of ECUs, the electronic control units in vehicles, simplifying software updates and cost efficiency. They're going to leverage the technology VW is across Porsche, Audi, and Bentley. Scaringe did hold firm, listen to this, on Rivian's plans to exclude CarPlay and instead add CarPlay-like features to the system on an a la carte basis. Things like Apple Music and YouTube are already available. So it's basically going to be like an app store, secondary app store on top of the Rivian architecture that allows stuff in from Apple instead of like actually having CarPlay embedded. Interesting.
I would. So thinking of that, when it comes to GM cutting CarPlay out of their EVs, no historical record of great user interfaces. So I'm like, that's a 2 thumbs down. It's not going to work. And maybe it will, but you haven't done anything to prove to me that it's going to work great. Rivian, like, does Tesla have CarPlay?
No, they don't allow it. Yeah.
But Tesla has a history of making really great user interfaces.
Exactly.
So no one's complaining about it.
Same thing with Rivian, if you've ever been in one.
That's what I was going to say. I've never been in a Rivian, but if they follow suit, no one's going to miss it because they're going to do it right. When I rented the Polestar 2 a couple of months ago, I didn't miss it at all.
Yep.
Because the interface worked like I expected it to work right out of the gate, and I synced up my music, and I was good to go.
They like hired a UI designer or two, couple UX designers.
Funny
they
thing
did
about
some end user testing on the touchscreen interface.
Look, Mary Barra and the GM team, we're really, and the OnStar team, we're rooting for you. We really are.
Come on.
But we need to see a proof case. Just say. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to driving a Rivian. I haven't yet.
I have a couple buddies that have let me sit in one, but I've never driven one. I need to just do it. I need to be like, yo, I need to drive your Rivian
right now, or
Let's
else
rent a Rivian. Next place we go, we should. Can we? Do
probably
that?
On like Turo.
We
should do it. All right, we'll do it, and we'll vlog it, and we'll have
tell you how it went.
Yeah, we will. Well, that's how Tuesday's show went. We hope you have an amazing Tuesday. We hope you get in the dog days of summer. Go out there, sell some cars. Tell your OEM reps, we'll talk to you next month. Get out there, take advantage of that pricing. See you tomorrow.